Hi, welcome back. We're talking about finding comfort outside of your comfort zone. And today, we're going to jump right in with the number one fear amongst the Western world. That's right, the thing that makes most of you out there incredibly uncomfortable. And I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about public speaking. That's right, most of you out there are terrified to speak in public. But what if you say or like or of? What do you do with your hands? Who knows? What if they're looking at your hands and you don't know what to do? Public speaking makes most people incredibly uncomfortable. So let's look at some ways that you can find more comfort in that. I think that might be helpful. But the first thing you've got to ask yourself, why are you so uncomfortable speaking in public? Let's dispel some myths. First of all, a lot of you have people at work, people in life that you say, God, that person's just a naturally good speaker. Well, I got news for you. No, she's not. There are no naturally good speakers. You see, what happened was, way back in school, someone in the class did an oral presentation or they represented something and they were pretty good at it. And the teachers identified that person as being good at speaking. And so they kept giving them positive reinforcement of, gosh, you're such a great speaker, or you're just such a people person, or you're so naturally dynamic. And that person was pushed into debate, or they were pushed into run for class office. And they constantly found themselves representing the class, speaking, and getting good feedback. And so they developed the belief that they were a great speaker. They also got more reps than everybody else because they found themselves getting volunteered by their teacher, and they also found themselves volunteered on their own. Now, you might have been somebody who was more into math, more into science, more into English or poetry. You might have been someone who was more into athletics or music. And what happened was you got the positive reinforcement that you're a jock, or that you're a tech woman, you're a science guy, you're a math nerd. You got that feedback. And so you started to develop the belief that because that's what you're good at, that you're good at that and not speaking in public. And I want you to look at your life. Look at it. Did that red thread follow you all the way to where you are now? Chances are it did. So let's dispel that rumor right away. You believe that you're not a great speaker, but I'm going to tell you that you are. It's not a fact. You just believe it based on the evidence over the past however many years. So that's step one. All you have to say is, wait a second, I'm not a bad speaker. That's easy to say. It's hard to do. But let's look at the other thing. What happened in your life that made you think you were not good at public speaking? Are you thinking about the time that you got up there and you messed up, and everyone laughed at you, or the teacher said, oh, listen, you're just not a speaker? Are you thinking about the time that you gave a presentation when you were a junior manager, or you were an assistant director, or whatever, and your slides just didn't work out, or you bungled something and you just felt terrible? Again, this goes back to that roller coaster thing. The top of that roller coaster, the people who feel that they're great public speakers are excited to go down that hill. The people who feel that they're not good public speakers are terrified to go down that hill. So look back on the experiences in your life and say, wait a second, am I judging myself based on that moment in time? Or am I judging myself based on actual feedback that people have given me? And if they have given you feedback, then great, you can fix it. So here's the thing. There are plenty of tips and tools and strategies that you can use to find more comfort as a speaker when it comes to the technicalities of speaking. That's something that I help people with, and that's something that hundreds and hundreds of firms and organizations around the world help people with. So you can become a better public speaker, but it doesn't mean that you're going to feel more comfortable doing it. It's like when you look at someone at work and you say, oh my gosh, you were amazing, but that person says, no, I was terrible. It's the whole duck on water. They look calm, but underneath, their legs are going a mile a minute. How many times has someone told you, oh my God, you were incredible, but you felt I was horrible? So we want to eliminate that. We want to make you feel good. We want you to find comfort. So now that you've defined why you may be uncomfortable speaking in public, and it's going to be different for all of you. I know I use some universals, but look into it. The second question is, how do you define public speaking? Because I got news for you, folks. every time you open your mouth and someone else is in the room, you're publicly speaking. You publicly speak every day of your life, and you don't get nervous. When you speak to your best friend, you're speaking in public. When you speak to your friends and family, you're speaking in public. When you order a drink at a bar, you are speaking in public. And those things most likely do not make you nervous. So it's not public speaking that makes you uncomfortable. What makes you uncomfortable is the audience to whom you are speaking. So let's define that. Is the discomfort coming from speaking to decision makers because that person could say no? Does the discomfort come from speaking to your peers because maybe they'll see right through you and say, what the heck is that person doing here? Is the fear coming from speaking to a board of directors? Is the fear coming from speaking to perceived experts because they might ask you a question you don't know the answer to? Is the fear questions in general? What if they ask me something and I don't know the answer? Will I look foolish? So what do you consider public speaking? If you can redefine it, that every time you speak and someone else is in the room, that's public speaking, then you can look and say, well, golly gee, most of the time on public speaking, I feel pretty good. See, what happens is you developed a belief, and that belief has driven your behavior. You all know that. Beliefs drive behaviors. So if you can just find a new belief to drive a new behavior, you can find comfort speaking in public. Now, again, just like yesterday, it's not going to happen in the snap of a finger. It's going to take time. And it'll be most helpful if you find a trusted advisor, somebody who you know can support you, give you honest feedback, but also give you tangible tools you can use to help change your mindset, to help change that belief that you're uncomfortable. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, it's not going to happen overnight, and it's something you got to work towards. And if it's something you want to work towards, you can do it. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. My question to you is, when did you speak in public and absolutely surprised yourself? I mean, you knocked it out of the park, and you got great feedback. Brag about yourself. Put it down there. If you don't want to brag about yourself, brag about somebody else. Write in the comments someone you saw speak and it moved you, it inspired you, and you said, wow, this was incredible. Put it down there. Let's brag about ourselves, brag about other people, and show people that speaking in public can be a positive feeling. It can make you feel great. You can always reach me at this email. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this, and please tell your friends. Tell them, share this post. I'm really trying to get the word out there, and you're the ones who can help me the most. Now, let's step outside for a second, little meta moment. I feel very uncomfortable asking people to like and subscribe. I feel incredibly uncomfortable asking you to share this and to reach out to me. I do. Now, I don't look like it, but you don't see my feet right now. They're going like this under my desk. So I am trying to practice what I preach and stepping outside of my comfort zone to ask you to help support my message getting out there. So I'm back outside of the meta moment, and I'm back here. Tune in tomorrow for our next episode of Getting Comfortable Outside of Your Comfort Zone. We're going to look at something incredibly useful. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you.